the 4th of July party. Hasn't been getting any better. I go Thursday morning to Big Baylor in Dallas to get a esophagus motility test done. To see if I've been having esophagus spasms. That's what they're thinking it is, but they won't know until we get this test done. The GI doctor told me that all the symptoms I've been having is typical signs of esophagus spasm. Even though I never had them before I had my stent put in, he said that a couple different things could factor into it. One being Plavix. Could have caused irritation in my stomach. And start causing esophagus spasm. But when they put my stent in and they shocked my heart several times to get it going again, that it could have damaged the, I think they called it the vagus nerve or vagus nerve or something like that. If they figure out that it is esophagus spasm and find out exactly where the esophagus has having spasm, they do a couple different things. Being that I have a low resting blood pressure, I can't do any kind of channel block or, which is blood pressure pills. I don't know why in the hell they call it channel block, but anyways. I can't do any kind of blood pressure pills, and I can't do nitroglycerin because it drops my blood pressure too low. And they said the other option is they can do a Botox injection into my esophagus, and it kills the nerves from anywhere from 6 months to a year. And if that works, they can go in and cut the nerve that's in there that's causing the esophagus spasm, and then I would never have it again. So I'm hoping that this is going to fix me. But I tell you what, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Not my worst enemies, nothing. This is the worst damn shit. Because you could be feeling great 1 second, and then all of a sudden, at a snap of a finger, out of nowhere, you go from feeling like you can't breathe. Even though you can, it feels like you're starving for breath, like you can't take a breath. And then you get real lightheaded and dizzy. And then you start getting chest pressure like you're having a damn heart attack. That's the reason I've been having to go to the emergency room so many times, because, hell, I thought I was having another heart attack or something, which I haven't never had one, but from what everybody tells me, what the doctor told me to look for, that's what I thought it was. And I'd get there and they'd do an EKG and the trombone test, or whatever that was called. It'd always come back negative. Didn't send me on my way. These esophagus spasms, they can last anywhere from 5 minutes, 20 minutes, up to 3 or 4 hours. And it's very, very irritating because when it happens, it almost puts you in a panic mode. You don't know what the hell's going on. And none of the tests so far has proven exactly what it was, so they didn't know for 100% sure. So it's more of a guess. They tell me anytime you had chest pressure, go to the ER. It's gotten to where now I don't go to the ER unless it's happened for 3 or 4 hours and ain't eased up, and then I'll go to the ER. Because every time I go to the ER, my insurance covers everything except for about $105 what my copay is. So every time I go to the ER, it's $105. And I've been at least 40, 50 times since December. You add that up, that's a lot of damn money. And then not count all the goddamn tests that I've done since December. Some tests are $100, $150 copay. Some of them $500 copay. This one I'm going to Thursday is, I think it was $175 copay. It's like I wish they'd have just sent me for this test to begin with instead of having to do all these other damn tests that didn't prove a damn thing. But oh well, they can figure it out. I don't give a damn at this point. As long as they can figure it out to keep me fixed, I'm sick of feeling this way. It's gotten so bad that I'm having 2, 3, 4 times a day I'm having these attacks. Can't hardly do nothing. Sometimes you just gotta muscle through it, tough it out, whatever you want to call it, man it up. It just gets old. You're getting so damn weak because you ain't able to do as much as you used to be able to do. You're losing all your muscles because you're not being active. Heat seems to flare it up when I'm out in the sun doing stuff. It seems to flare it up pretty quick. So much better. That artery was blocked quite a bit. He never did give me a percentage that I can remember. And I told y'all before, they found that when they did a CAT scan on my heart. It came back 986, anything over, I think it was 300 is considered high, and mine was 986. Calcium cancer, that's what it was. I never had a heart attack or nothing. Never really felt bad. I would just have a dizzy spell every once in a while. And that's what primary doctor looked into it and said why I was having these dizzy spells. And it would happen about once a week, sometimes twice a week. It was always late at night, like 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night. I never had them during the daytime. It was always at night. And she started doing all kind of blood work, all different kind of labs and stuff. Everything kept coming back perfect. Nothing looked out of sync. So she had sent me to get this cardiac echo or whatever it's called, CAT scan, calcium CAT scan done. When that came back, she instantly sent me to a cardiologist. And less than 3 or 4 days later, they had me in the hospital putting the stent in. And then right after that, when all this problem started, I had the stent put in on December 3rd, and about the 10th, I started having these attacks. They called it every damn thing in the world, but never could figure out what it was. This past was rough as hell. Good Lord. I've lost so much weight so fast that my body hasn't been able to keep up. And my muscles just like deteriorating. 6'4", I used to be 325. Now I'm down to 263 this morning. I've always been a big guy, but I always called farm boy strong. It's still like all your muscles after 6 months of losing weight, feeling like shit, not being able to do nothing, keeping active like I always have. It started what I call deteriorating, really. I don't know what they call it, but it's what it feels like to me. I'm hoping they get me well. Start feeling a lot better, get more active again. This is for the damn bird. Yesterday I went out greasing my tractor, getting it ready for today. It was hot yesterday. I think the actual temperature was only like 97, 98, something like that. But the field like temperature, I think it's about 3 o'clock. The field like temperature, I think, was 106 or 107, and it was just with all the rain we had a few days ago, maybe the humidity and the heat, it was just unbearable out there yesterday. Get enough subscribers to get monetized. I just do this for fun, so the grandkids can watch me mow. I like taking them out with me when I go mow, when they're up with me. They love riding on the tractor. I've been showing them how to drive the tractor. They have a blast. We're either riding four-wheelers, riding on the tractor, feeding the animals. They're at that age that everything is new to them, and their parents don't think they're quite old enough yet to be doing some of the stuff. Shit, I've got them cut loose on weed eaters, showing them how to weed eat. And I got a whole bunch of weed eating. It sure helps me out when them grandkids come up to do the weed eating for me. I bought a couple used weed eaters that's identical to each other. And I told them that was their weed eaters. And they just thought that was the mom having their own weed eaters. They wanted to do yard work for people and start making money. And now they're only 10 years old. I told them how much money they could make if they get out there and hustle. I told them I'd buy them a lawnmower, weed eater, I'd buy them edgers, blowers, whatever. I got a bunch of blowers I can give them. I probably got 8 or 9 leaf blowers. I like going to garage sales and buying used lawn equipment that don't run, get it dirt cheap, fix them up. Sometimes I sell them, sometimes I just import them. Like my chainsaws, I got my wife constantly kids me about how many chainsaws I have. I probably got 60, maybe 70, I don't know. I think the most expensive one that I bought that was used like that, I think I paid $50 for. I've rebuilt a couple. I rebuilt a steel ns4710. That's a badass saw right there. I rebuilt a steel ns271. I got a ms250, a ms180, an ms170. I got several Husqvarnas. I got a 353, 350. I think I got 345. I got a couple 440s, 445s, 450s. I like the 3 series better than the 4 series. This 4 series I call consumer chainsaws. I don't really like them. Take one of them 345s, or I think I even got a 340 40cc chainsaw. You take a 340 versus a Husqvarna 440, that 340 gonna spank its ass all day long. It ain't even a comparison. You wouldn't even think it was the same CC chainsaw. But that 440, I think it's just a junk chainsaw compared to a 340. If that's all you had was a 440, I guess it would work, and you wouldn't know any better. But if you ever got a hold of a good 40cc chainsaw and put it up against that one, the 3 series is just far superior. All kind of damn vultures coming down, grabbing crabs and shit while you out here mowing. That's always cool to watch. Swoop down and snap a big old rat and take off with it. Every once in a while you see these cowbirds grab a little smallmouth needed. Most times they're just eating bugs and stuff that's out here. Back up like that on these corners and stuff, touching. I don't want to leave any what I call holidays, but stragglers sticking up on any of the corners. I want it to look good. We're going to have a whole bunch of people over. We're going to be here this Saturday for their 4th of July party. They usually have quite a few people come out for it. Pop a bunch of fireworks, do a big fish fry. Grass down, you won't know that anything was left for a day or so. Then all of a sudden you look out across the field that's just mowed and you have all this grass standing up out there. That's the reason I'm doing these corners the way I'm doing them right now, because we're all going to be here this Saturday and I don't want anything standing up between now and Saturday. Make sure it all gets mowed, knocked down. It takes a little bit longer, but I ain't got nothing else to do today, so I don't mind. When you're in a hydrostatic tractor like this, it's enough to back up and go for it again. It's pedal to go. Usually I do make the turn without backing up when I'm here, but when we're having a party like this, all these people are going to be over. I don't. Price even more. It's like ridiculous. I told my wife, I said, you know, years ago when we first got married, I said, we looked at several properties with a bunch of land. I said, we backed out because we thought land was high back then. And it was like $1,500, $2,000 an acre. I wished we'd have bought land when we first got married. You damn sure can't find nothing like that no more. The one we're going to look at, I think was 6,500 an acre, 6,400 an acre, something like that. The 125,000, whatever they comes up to, 18 acres. It don't have any house on it. It's all land, it's all been fenced in. Got a creek running through the back part of the property. Got 2 big ponds on it. All the fences are real good. Got a cattle guard entrance, pipe fence in the front. The fences that they put up looks like it's probably been put up within the past 5 years or so. All the wires still look brand new. T-posts still look brand new. It's fenced all the way around. There's no cross fencing or anything like that. I'm sort of excited. If everything works out the way we hoping it does, we can sell our house, get enough money, pay cash for the land, and I found a couple mobile homes, really good price. It's been remodeled. I found one double wide that was I think $34,000, like 1,600 or 1,580 square feet, I think is what it was. Yeah, 34,000. It's been completely remodeled, all new flooring, all hardwood floors. Bathroom's been remodeled, kitchen's been remodeled, all new appliances. Bedroom, 2 baths, and they took out one of the bedrooms and enlarged the dining living room area, put in a fireplace. We're looking at a single wide. It's a 2023 model plate home. That is a really, really nice trailer. They want 40 for it. It's about the same square footage. It's like 1,500 square foot. It's 3 bedroom, 2 bath. And we really don't need a 3 bedroom. It's just me and my wife. When the grandkids come up, stay with us. All we need is 1 extra room. So I don't know. We're still debating what we want to do. pay for the land outright, pay for the mobile home, pay to have septic, water ran to it, electricity put in. There'd be a shop built. I gotta have a shop. Still have enough left over, and we won't have any house payments. Wife gets retired when she turns 62, which will be in January. We ain't got any house payments. The only payment we got every month is on this tractor. Everything else is paid for. I just paid off my zero turn. And I think mistaken over a year and a half on this. I'd have to look and see. But this is the only monthly payment we have. And I got a bunch of relatives that live down there. Probably 15 miles from where we're looking at this property. And he bales a bunch of hay for his cows and stuff every year. I can get him to come out. I can cut it and rake it for him. I got a rake and cutter. And he can just come out and bale it for me. I want to put a few cows out there and start getting their own beef every year and stuff, going to the grocery store buying their shit that you don't know where it came from. Raise a couple hogs a year for a pork. Still raise chickens. Looks so much better after it's mowed. This little 8-foot brush hog I've had for probably 12 years now. This is the best cut brush hog I've ever owned. I got another one that I bought before I bought this one. It's a 6-foot. I was out on a job one day and hit a big pile of concrete and bent my shaft on the gearbox underneath there. Bent the stump jumper, bent the shaft. Well, I'll tell you what, if you've ever done that before, bent a shaft, stump jumper on a brush hog, it'll damn near throw you off the tractor from the vibration. My front tires, when that thing first hit it, went to vibrate. Before I could get that PTO shut off, the front tires was coming plumb off the ground from the vibration. And that was on my other tractor that's bigger than this one. They're pretty close to the same horsepower, but my other tractor a lot heavier built than this one is. This one here with the loader and everything, I think weighs like 4,800 pounds. My other tractor, it weighs 6,500, and it don't have a front end loader. guess I'll cut y'all off here. You don't need to see me doing the pond again. Y'all seen it on the last video. Same thing over and over again. I just want to get on here and post another video so grandkids watching. Keep up with me. They love watching my videos. One grandkid, he started his own YouTube channel. Hell, he got almost as many subscribers as me. He posts a lot of shorts and stuff. Last night, we were sitting at the house and one of his videos came up in my shorts on the TV. It cracked me up because it was the first one in line on there. That's the first video he's ever posted. It's popped up in my short feed on YouTube. TV like that. I had to take a picture and send it to him. I told him, I said, shit, YouTube looks like they're pushing your channel. He was tickled to death when I said that to him. I was playing around on CapCut one day. Me and him was, and he was showing me how to use it because I'd never used CapCut before. It's an editing software that you can use. And he was showing it to me one day. And I made this stupid video of this rooster dancing. And that's his most popular video to this day. It cracks me up. That thing, I think it's got like 6,500 views. And it's like a 20-second video of this stupid rooster. Basically all it is prancing around. It ain't really dancing. It's just prancing around. But it's funny as hell that that's his most popular video. The rest of his about 90 foot to the bottom. You talk about puckering you up. Goddamn brush hog and the back wing, John Deere back wing, pulling on them big John Deere tractors. I think John Deere 6420 if I'm mistaken. We had HX15 brush hog, back wing brush hogs. And I slid down that embankment, that thing jackknife at the bottom. It was on sideways. That's the only time I ever got nervous, thought I was going to flip in that tractor. And there wasn't nothing I could do. Once it broke loose and started sliding, it was gone. There wasn't no turning out of it, punching it, hitting your brakes. No, you couldn't do nothing. It was gone. And I slid all the way to the bottom of the damn thing. We ended up parking the tractor there because it was so muddy we couldn't get in there with any other tractors. And I had slid off into a little creek at the bottom. I had 2 tires off in it. The whole brush hog was off in the creek. We went out 2 days later and had 4 tractors pulling me out. And they barely was able to pull me out. That's how bad it slid off in that creek. Stuck off in there. They go through a bunch of people. You get people come out there, they know how to operate a tractor. They've done this, they've done that. You throw them in a damn tractor on the highway, it's a different story. We had several people tear up brush hogs, hit shit, thinking they can mow through stuff. No way I'd have a bunch of tractors. You talk to John Deere 6420 back then, that was probably, I don't know, $80,000. And then brush hogs were probably $15,000 to $20,000 back then. That was the heavy duty John Deere, the HX series was. Drive the tractor, but it is doing pretty good other than trying to cut over real quick. He ended up flipping the front of that 18-wheeler. When he clipped the front of that 18-wheeler, that son of a bitch went to flipping. And I was mowing in the middle, and they was coming right at me. And you talk about scared the shit out of you. I thought that son of a bitch was going to hit my tractor with me in it. I slammed on the brakes and came to a stop. And I don't know how many times that thing flipped. It probably flipped 6, 7, 8 times. I don't know. It was quite a bit. We got out. You know, trying to help the people get out of the car because it was on fire. And our guy that did our services on the trucks and stuff like that, put out all of our signs and stuff, moment signs and stuff on the highway. He came up right after the incident happened and asked me what happened. And I told him, I said, I was going along, and all of a sudden, his car went past this 18-wheeler, cut him off, and flipped in front of that 18-wheeler, and flipped. He called and told the owner of the company, and they was like, thinking it was something that I did. They said, oh, you didn't get the tractor, get out of there. I said, dude, I'm helping these people out. We got them out of the car and slid them away from the car. They had cuts and bruises, but didn't have no broken bones or nothing, luckily. This, like, want me to get the tractor and freaking leave. I was like, I'm probably the only one there that seen what actually happened other than the two that was in the incident that stopped. None of the other cars stopped. They all kept going down the highway. Yeah, when it stopped, it was probably, I don't know, 60, 75 feet in front of me, something like that. It was close enough, it made the damn pucker, that's for damn sure. That should be it. Drive around, make sure. Real good. That will work. We'll better see if old Andy's at home. But we'll catch y'all on the next video. If y'all are watching this, it'll be a couple weeks where we post another video up, maybe sooner. But we'll catch you on the next video. If you want, you can hit subscribe. If not, that's fine. Just watch the video. But we'll catch y'all on the next one.